Good morning, Mizzou fans. Gabe DeArmond back with PM in the AM for Thursday, July 3rd. We have all come to the conclusion over the last few months that high school recruiting matters either not at all or certainly less than it has mattered for basically the entire time we followed it in college sports. Um, Again, how much you think it matters, that's your own point of view, but it matters less than it has with the prevalence of the transfer portal. There's no question about that. Well, this morning, I want to paint you the picture of why what's happened so far in the class of 2026 may matter even less than you think it does. There's been, June, July are now the prime commitment times, right? Missouri's added a handful of players. We've got another 5 or 6 decisions coming up in the next 2 weeks that we anticipate are largely going to shape what Missouri's class is. However, the key date here is August 1st. That is 4 weeks from tomorrow, 29 days away. And the reason August 1st is big is that is the first day that revenue sharing contracts can actually be put into writing for prospects in the class of 2026. We all know the House settlement went into effect July 1st. Revenue sharing is a thing. Schools can all pay their players up to $20.5 million, and that is athletes across campus from athletic department revenue. So a lot of promises are being made and a lot of numbers are being thrown out there and a lot of things are being said. However, that $20.5 million, and in the SEC it's 18 because 2.5 of it's going to scholarships, that $18 million has to be split up among your entire roster across your entire athletic department. Um, the bulk of Missouri and everybody's revenue sharing money is going to go to football, somewhere in the neighborhood of 75% of it. So we're talking, $14 million, something like that for an SEC football roster. We're going to have somewhere between 85 and 105 players on that roster, right? Now, the returning starting quarterback is going to get a bigger share of that than the third string redshirt offensive lineman, or frankly, than the recruit coming in. So if you want to take that $14 million and divide it up, 85 different ways, which not everybody is obviously going to do. But if you took the average of that, $14 million divided by 85 players. I mean, I can do some quick math here real quick. Give me just a second. Smart people would have done this earlier, but I'm not that smart. That's $164,000 a player. That's a nice number, right? Again, not going to be there for everybody because there are going to be players. Your starting quarterback who's coming back off an all-conference season is going to demand a significant amount more. You have to keep an eye on, okay, what are guys, if we're able to keep them out of the NFL draft, or if they're just returning sophomores or juniors who have been good, how much is that going to cost us? So that's going to knock down what you've got available to these freshmen. So you can be out here telling a freshman he's going to make $250,000 next year. And perhaps you have the ability to make that happen if it's a really good freshman, or if you have a lot of NIL deals lined up. But again, NIL deals, everybody expects the numbers to come down there because the NIL clearinghouse is going to exist. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like. We don't know how well the rules are going to be followed. A lot of questions to be answered there. But the point is, the days of these true freshmen getting $500,000 and more, most people believe that's over because you can't pay that much to incoming freshmen out of revenue sharing. And most people don't think numbers like that are going to be approved in the NIL clearinghouse when, frankly, most of these kids haven't been doing much of anything for the money anyway. So overall numbers are going to come down. My point being, back to why I was telling you what has happened in the past few weeks, few months may not even matter in recruiting, is whatever numbers have been promised to these kids, well, August 1st is the first day some of that can actually be put in writing. And once you put it in writing, you owe it. So if you're promising money to these players that you may not have to get them to tell you they're coming, well, when you've got to put a contract in front of them, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I have talked to some people in college football who expect there to be quite a few decommitments in the month of August and September as these freshmen find out, hey, these numbers that we were talking about, well, that may not be exactly what we know is deliverable in your freshman year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't say this to tell you, hey, Missouri's all of a sudden going to get a much better recruiting class than they have on paper right now. I don't know. We don't know where it's going to go, but I do think it is something to be monitored over the next 2 months in college football and college basketball to a lesser degree, but we're dealing with far fewer players there. So college football is the big thing to watch there. So just something to keep an eye on, put in your head as we embark on, a week or two where there's probably going to be a lot of commitments, not only at Missouri, but across the country. Be interesting to see how many of those stick over the next 2 or 3 months. Appreciate you hanging out here. On the channel in the last few days. Talked to Kelly Harper one-on-one yesterday. Got about a 28-minute conversation there. Talked to Andy Hill last week, to Justin Ray, golf analytics and Mizzou alum here in the last few days. So all of that is on the channel. Check that out. Like, comment, and subscribe while you're here. Join us over at Power Mizzou right now. 30% off your first year. $1 for your first month for a VIP membership. So we hope you check that out as we gear up toward the 2025-26 sports year at Mizzou. We'll talk to you tomorrow.